arms fall off till your abs get hard and your morals of the story.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Nick from Boletta Brigade, bringing you guys another commentary. This is actually the first commentary coming to you guys from Columbia, South Carolina. I just moved into my new place yesterday, so for the better part of the next 9 months, this is where you're going to be hearing me from. However, this workout footage is the last workout footage that Savan and I recorded while I was still back home. We did not record our very last workout. I believe this is the second to last workout. However, parts of it did go very well and parts of it did not go so well. So I'm going to do something that I actually haven't done in a while, and that is actually talking about the workout. I've had the meat and then just sort of topics that I've wanted to talk about in previous videos. So today, really just wanted to talk about this workout. So since I've switched to low bar squats, my squats have been feeling fantastic. Oh, here's a little side note. We were periscoping this workout, so follow me on Periscope. I am going to try and do it every once in a while. I'll probably post about it on Instagram or something if I'm going to. So shout out to anybody who did check into Periscope. I really appreciate it. It was a fun time. Anyways, yeah, low bar squats have been feeling really good, and I think that's just because oh, this was funny. What you guys just saw was Savan forgot to put a 25 on the side that she loaded up the bar on, and so I unracked it, and obviously the bar is 25 pounds heavier on one side, and it almost ended in a catastrophe. Anyways, finally going to talk about low bar squats, finally spit out what I've been trying to say. So what worked so well for me high bar was a narrow stance and hardly any turning out of my toes. So pretty common, you see people turn out their toes at least a little bit. However, for me, my strongest position is just with my toes straight forward. And actually, I sort of figured out that this was my strongest position from a tip from Will Palma of Snowflake Fitness. Shout out to them. Because it wouldn't be a Boletta Brigade video without a shout out to Snowflake Fitness, but he told me if you raise your toes up off the ground and then squeeze your glutes, what'll happen is your toes will fall, and he said where your toes fall is probably your strongest position. And so for most people, like Will showed me himself, his toes point out some. However, when I did this, my toes were almost completely straight forward, and so it made sense as to why my squats were stronger when I had my toes pointed straight forward. And I think this is also conducive to why when my stance is narrow, my squats are better, just because a really wide stance with your toes pointed straight forward just seems like it would be really bad for your knees, and before squats are bad for your knees in general. But anyway, so squats have been feeling really good, so I'm basically just keeping everything the same that was working for me high bar, and now I'm just moving the bar to a low bar position. I'm actually staying pretty upright compared to how I've been in the past with low bar. And what you saw a couple of clips ago, I did a 3x4 at 285, and then on the last set I went for an AMRAP, and I hit 6 reps very easily actually. I definitely feel like I had more in the tank. But you know, during this DUP phase, or this DUP style of training that I'm doing, I don't really like to push the RPE too high because I am training the lift so frequently that I need to recover in order to train, you know, 2 days later or sometimes even the next day. So really don't like to go above like an RPE 9, and that probably wasn't even an RPE 9. But then we moved on to bench, which you guys have been watching. Bench for me, I can't speak for Savan, unfortunately. She's not here to speak for herself, but my bench has been feeling really good. I feel like I've gotten to a place, and Bryce Lewis talked about this in a video a while ago. Obviously, I'm no elite powerlifter, and my form is not elite either, but I feel like I've gotten to a place with my technique where I just have it down so solidly that I no longer have to think about it, and so I can focus that, you know, maybe 20% of my concentration that I'd be focused on technique, and I can just think about throwing the weights, and so the weights are moving really smoothly, really fast. I feel really strong, really powerful, and I'm just, you know, keeping my technique very consistent. So my bench has been feeling really great. And then we moved on to deadlifts. Siobhan killed these deadlifts. I only have 2 sets recorded, but she nailed 255 for sets of 4, which is really great for her. And this was my variation day, so I was pulling sumo. And I moved my stance in a little bit because that was sort of the general consensus from a lot of the comments the last video I posted where I was pulling sumo. People were saying that I just had my stance too wide. And I know that I can't stand super wide just because I have very poor hip mobility, but I just noticed that my hips are just so far away from the bar in the starting position, and I know that this is just a product of poor hip mobility. I just don't really know how to address my poor hip mobility. I mean, I feel like overall I'm getting myself in the best position that I possibly can for sumo. And watching the footage, I mean, I can see my hamstrings engaging from the start. I can see my quads engaging. I feel like I'm spreading the floor. I'm just not in a good starting position. I mean, again, I feel like I'm getting in the best position that I can. I just need to improve my hip mobility. I mean, I pull all of my sumo beltless, so I'm very happy to see that my back is flat for the most part. But anyways, if you have any ideas of how I can improve my hip mobility, please comment in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate it because I want to get better at these. I want to try and pull 500 in my weak stance. Maybe around the same time that I can pull 600 conventional. But anyways, that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.